Hi there. Welcome to the How to Market Your Horse Business podcast. I'm so glad you're joining me here today. My name is Denise Alvarez. I have the honor of hosting you here. And before we jump into today's topic, all about social media versus websites, I want to give you a very brief introduction in case we are new friends. So as I said, my name is Denise Alvarez, and through my business, Storm Lily Marketing, I get to help dream-chasing horse business owners like yourself to see clearly through the marketing overwhelm and create a cohesive plan for your social media, your website, and your email marketing. And each of those things together will turn your online audience into your customers. And so I do that through Take the Reins, my one-on-one coaching program, as well as website design and website copywriting. And I do all of these things, including the podcast, because I truly desire to help you as an equestrian entrepreneur to be out doing what you love to do. And I know that's why you started your business in the first place, right? So here on the podcast, especially, you will get a mix of step-by-step strategies, basic how-tos, and entrepreneurial mindset shifts that will help you not only see what's possible for your business, but also to guide you through that process so you can make it happen. Now, as I said today, we are talking specifically about social media because I get this question on the regular. Should social media replace your equestrian website? Or maybe not even replace, but maybe it's in place of. Maybe you're someone who is listening and you have a Facebook page that's been doing really well, or an Instagram account, or a TikTok account, or a YouTube channel. It's been doing great. And so you thought, why do I even need a website? I've got all my people here, right? And so here's the thing. I know that's a question at the top of your minds, but it's such an important question. We're going to really break down why I believe, and I think you'll agree with me by the end of this episode, that your social media should supplement but not replace your website. Right? No, we're going to dive into why, okay? But first, you might be thinking, Denise, you said you design and write copy for websites, so of course you're going to say I need it. Well, I'm going to share with you why, but let me just say that even with social media as a really great tool, I have seen accounts be taken away in an instant for random reasons or because they broke some rule that they didn't know existed, right? And that access was completely gone. And we'll talk about those reasons here in just a moment. But let me just tell you this. I will stand on a corner all day long and tell every equestrian business owner that right now in this day and age, you need to have a website. Whether I do it for you or not, I am cheering you on to find someone who's the right fit for you and get a website in place. Even if you're someone who has a super active and engaged following, you need a website. And actually, I would say especially you. Now, we're going to dive into those things. I have a replay for you of a live training that I did all about this topic. And so we're about to break that down. But first, I want to make sure that you know I do have a free website guide that you are absolutely welcome to go and get at stormlily.com/checklist. It is the 4 must-haves to make your equine website dreams a reality. And how do I know what your equine website dreams are? I know that you're in business, right? So you want to turn those visitors into your customers, into your long-term customers, build those relationships, right? So this guide is going to show you with real-life examples how you can do that. So head over to stormlily.com/checklist, grab your free website guide, and then get your notepad handy because we are diving into 4 eye-opening reasons social media should not replace your website. Now, why this topic? Why did I even pick this topic? Why do I feel like it's important? Because I hear very often, and I see very often, that horse business owners think social media is enough of a marketing tool for their long-term sustainability. Now, remember, I'm not talking about what's working for you right in this moment. I want to talk about how do you build a marketing strategy that's going to work for your horse business for the long term. Okay. That's going to help you do what you love to do for the long term. I want you to think long-term goals. Now, obviously, you may pivot over time, but that's the beauty of having your own website, is it also allows you to pivot. So social media is not enough for long-term sustainability, and we're going to talk about exactly why I believe that so much. Hey, Rachel, I'm so glad you're joining as well. And for your website, no, we talked about that on our one-to-one coaching, so I'm excited to see you make those updates also. All right, so for some people that will say social media is enough, what I will hear is it's working for me now, right? I have people that are commenting. I can post sale horses on Facebook, obviously minding all the different rules, but I can post pictures and I can get creative with my content and I can get more comments there than if I just posted it to my website. I don't have the traction to my website. I have more traction on social media. Why do I need a website, right? And I understand that reasoning completely. And again, I think social media can be a wonderful tool for sure. But as we're going to talk about, there are some things I want you to consider and how a website for your long-term strategy should be a part of your game plan. All right. So let's jump into that. Let's talk about the 4 reasons social media should not be replacing your website and your marketing strategy. Number 1, you are renting your space on social media. You own your website. Now, here's what I mean by that. Whether you're on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, all the places, right? You have no control over what that experience is like. You have no control over the access, right? So we talked on Monday how 3% of your followers are going to see your content. And there are some things you can do to help improve that. But otherwise, you might have a whole bunch of followers, but you do not control what their experience is. You don't control how you show up. And let's not forget, only a year and a half ago, Facebook shut down, and Instagram too, right? Because they have both. And so therefore, you completely lost access. Now, thankfully, it wasn't for a long time. But think about if you were in a promotion period or a sale period, if you had something really big planned that was going to happen inside of your Facebook group, and then the platform completely shuts down. Because you only rent that space, you don't have control over that experience. You have no way of getting in touch with your followers, with getting in touch with people in your Facebook group, because Facebook owns that information, right? Or Instagram or TikTok, whatever it is, right? They own that information. However, when it comes to your website, you own that information and you own that experience, which we'll talk about in a bit. So that means on your website, you can get those email addresses like we've talked about. So say you had something planned inside of your Facebook group and it was about to be a really big deal and you're going to go live and the app goes down, or you have glitches, which we know happens all the time, or you get kicked out of your profile, you can at least go to your email list, right? And you have their information and you can get in touch there. Now, on top of that, as I just mentioned that, the idea of getting kicked out, right? Because again, you don't own it, you rent it. Now, I have a member in my Social Stride program. So some of you may be saying, Denise, that only happens to larger accounts. It doesn't. I have a member in my Social Stride program who had, I don't know exactly how many followers she had on Instagram, but it wasn't 5 or 10,000 even. And she didn't get hacked. Yes, she did. She got hacked. Somebody got access to her profile, started putting out there that she was promoting crypto and all these different things, and she could not get back in. I reported it on her behalf. Our members reported it on her behalf. She was reporting it multiple times. She could not get access to her account again. She had to start over from scratch. And I've seen that happen before on Facebook as well, and they have to start from scratch. And so again, you don't own access to those people. So when you have to start from scratch, all of that work that you did to build up those followers, if you have no other way of getting in touch with them, then you're out, right? You're starting over and you're hoping that they're going to see your new stuff. So that's another reason, again, you rent that space, you don't own it. So it's just very important to be mindful of that, right? Be mindful. Okay, I want to do something on my phone super quick. So I see comments coming in, and I know when Instagram Live goes away, I can't always see those. So I wanted to make sure I'm recording those comments from you, Deb, so I can read fully in just a bit. So number one, right? The first eye-opening reason social media is not enough and you need Facebook is that you don't own that space. You are renting it. And renting is not a bad thing, right? Just like in life. You rent, you understand that you don't own. You may lease, right? People lease horses. They don't own horses. There are pros and cons to both. It's just important to be aware. Okay, I want you to be aware. All right, secondly, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all those places, they are your front porch. Your website is your living room. Okay, here's what I mean by that. On social media, you can only take people so far in working with you. You can only take people so far in getting to know you, getting to know your methods, getting to know your photography style, getting to know what it's like to work with you, right? And that's great for a stepping point, but you want to take them deeper. If you really care about that journey of them being not just followers, becoming customers, then you want to get them past the front porch of social media. You want to get them to your living room, on your website, where you again can control that journey and that you can really give them a more personal experience. Okay, so think about it. Just like if you are going to meet somebody you're just hanging out on the front porch, right? So imagine I invite you over for dinner. Okay, imagine this. I invite you over for dinner and you get here and we just hang out on the front porch the whole time. I never even invite you into my home to get that more personal experience. How well do you feel like you know me once you've left? Even if we've had a great conversation, there's just something that you're going, I feel like there's more. I feel like there's more and I just can't get access. Your website is your opportunity to give your potential customers that access that they are looking for, right? So use those connections that you have on social media to invite them to your website where you can share more about your personal story, where you can give the details about your services, what it's like to work with you, where you can tell more of the stories from people that are sharing testimonials of what it's been like to work with you, what it's like on the other side, right? Where you can go a little bit deeper, where you can host different memberships and different products and things like that. All of those things are going to happen on your website. They're going to happen in the living room of your marketing, not on the front porch, which is your social media. Okay. So bear that in mind as you're considering your website and your social media. It doesn't need to be either or. They need to complement each other. And when you approach it that way, then you'll see the opportunity that your website has to really deepen that relationship with your potential customers. On to reason number 3. All right, so we've talked about you don't own, you rent your space on social media. We've talked about front porch versus living room, social media versus website, and how they can complement one another. The third eye-opening reason that your website is not enough, back it up, your social media is not enough, and you need a website is search engine optimization. All right, for you who are going, what the heck is that? SEO, you may have heard it that way as well, right? Search engine optimization is literally optimizing your online presence to help you be found online. Whether it's Google searches, Bing searches, Safari searches, whatever search engine is being used, you want to be optimized so that when somebody looks for a horse trainer in your area, somebody looks for a Morgan breeder in your area, somebody looks for a barrel race trainer, right? Whatever it is, go deeper if you like, right? Whatever it is, when they're looking, you want to optimize your business to be found online in those searches, okay? And your website is one of the key ways you're going to do that. Now, yes, Facebook has definitely done a great job in helping businesses to be found online. If you actually go look up how to market your horse business, the first thing, and maybe second now, but usually the first thing that shows up is my Facebook page, How to Market Your Horse Business, which is one of the reasons that I thought it was so valuable a couple of years ago when I started the podcast. So that's a great thing. Showing up with your Facebook page is wonderful. But your website adds additional credibility for your potential customers and for the search engines when it comes to placing yourself on those search results. Okay, so put yourself in the minds and the eyes of your potential customers. When they see your Facebook page showing up and they see your website right below, that adds credibility. When you have a website, it definitely adds credibility to you as a business. On top of that, if you happen to have a blog, if you are regularly adding pages to your website, making updates on a semi-annual basis, and keeping your content refreshed, the search engines are going to see that as well, okay? So all of those things matter when it comes to optimizing your business to be found online. So those cold searches, right? We call that a cold contact, a cold lead. When they just show up out of nowhere and they search and they find your business, they are looking to see if you have a website. Even if they go to your Facebook page first, they're going to go to your website to learn more about your services, almost bar none, right? If they want to learn more, they're going to click on your website. And I see it all the time. I land on horse businesses all the time that are recommended to me by Facebook or Instagram, and I want to learn more, so I go click on their website, and it doesn't even exist. I can't even tell you how many times I have clicked on a website from a social media profile of a horse business, and it no longer exists. It sends me to an option to either buy the domain, or it may say, somebody owns this website on Wix and it's not working, whatever the case may be. It's a non-working website. So they still have it listed. People are still clicking on it. And think about the experience that people are having when that happens. Okay. And your job as a business owner is to consider the experience that your potential customers are having with your business online before they even become a customer. So search engine optimization does matter. And having a website absolutely impacts that, okay? All right, number 4, the experience. We talked just a bit about this before, about owning versus renting. And on your website, you control the experience. But let's talk a little bit deeper about what that means, okay? So we know that obviously Facebook has continued to make changes when it comes to business pages, when it comes to news feeds, when it comes to mobile view and desktop view, right? All those ways that we experience the content from a business, it's controlled by the platform. But when I come to your website online, you control that experience. You control the design, you control the navigation, you control the verbiage, right? You control the text of the buttons, you control the colors, the images, the videos, all of those things you control on your website. And all of those things together create the experience that your potential customers are having online. All right. And that also means you to control what that looks like from when they land there to when they become a customer. The questions that you're answering along the way, how you make it easy for them to inquire and get in touch, how you make it easy for them to know what the next steps are to working with you, right? All of those things are in your control on your website. Now, I know many horse business owners have aspirations for a membership model, or you have aspirations for digital products, online courses, webinars, live workshops, all of those things you're going to host on your website. Now, are there third-party tools for that? Yes, there absolutely are. But you need a landing space where you can send everybody to go, where it has a cohesive feel about it and gives that really great experience as you invite them to become a member, as you invite them to buy your digital products, right? You want it to have a cohesive, seamless feel about working with you, because that's who you are as a business, right? You're here because I know that you care about the experience that people have with you. You're here because I know that you're trying to provide a premium experience, most likely. And a part of that is absolutely the experience that they have with you on your website, okay? Now, I know some of you may say, but Denise, the platform I'm using, they've started creating options where people can just pay for access, right? I know Instagram has options now for some people to pay for access. YouTube has started to do that. They're seeing that a lot of people are doing that on the side, and so they're bringing it into their platform. And I will just tell you to consider, again, how much of that experience you control. Now, financially speaking, I honestly can't give you the data, but I would say educate yourself on that. know how much of a cut each platform is taking if you decide to go that direction. But on top of that, consider the experience as well. Because again, we're thinking long-term sustainability. I don't want to see you invest a lot of time and money in creating a paid wall content on a platform that you don't own that experience to, and that you ultimately may lose the content. You may not be able to see who's viewing it. You can't choose interactions with people. There's so many things you can't control with that, right? You don't have options. When you're doing it on your website, you have options for how to do that membership platform. You have options for how to deliver that digital product, right? Because you own that experience. All right, so friends, I've given you 4 really solid and hopefully eye-opening reasons as to why your social media should not replace your website. Because again, I am not anti-social media. I love it. I think it is a wonderful tool for connection. But what I want to see more horse business owners doing is understanding that social media goes hand in hand with your website. They should play nice together, right? They should have a cohesive strategy along with email marketing that we've talked about before. And that is exactly why inside of Take the Reins, my one-to-one coaching program, we spend an entire session together going over your website. If you have a website, we're going to audit it in detail together. I'm going to give you very detailed list of things to consider, and we'll look at the copy together because copywriting is one of the things I do. And so I'm not just going to tell you, oh, you need to put this on that page. We're going to literally talk about the copy. What should be on that page? Your about page, which is the one that lots of people get stuck on, we will hone in on that, right? I'm going to help you make sure that you understand your website is an opportunity to really have your voice. And so I'm going to help you to find your voice and to put that on your website and to create that customer experience that's going to really up-level your business in a whole new way. So if that is something that interests you, that is just one piece of what we do in Take the Reins, which is my one-to-one coaching program. For 3 months, we will get together one-on-one and really create a customized, cohesive marketing plan for your horse business. You're going to walk away with a detailed plan for your social media. Your brand messaging and marketing is going to be very clear. You'll get your website audited and have a plan for that. And if you don't have a website, do not worry. We'll make a plan for that together. All right. So I'll help you to figure out what should that navigation be? What should be on your homepage? What does that actually look like? We'll do that together on our Zoom calls. And then you'll have homework afterwards to really apply what it is you're learning. And then, of course, email marketing, we will do that together as well. We will not only make a plan, but actually I'm going to help you to implement that plan together. So at the end of our 3 months, you're going to have your customized marketing strategy in place. You're going to be confident that you know you're doing the right things to build your equine business for the long term. Okay. And of course, along that way, I'm going to be there to support you between those calls. I will be your cheerleader, but I will also be your educator, and I will also be your accountability partner. Okay. All of those things happen inside of Take the Reins. So I invite you to apply and to at least check it out if you're thinking that sounds like that might be what I need right here in this space. Then I invite you to head over to stormlily.com/reins. And I almost spelled it for you, and I'm like, no, you're horse people. You don't need me to spell it. stormlily.com/reins. And you'll get the information there about who it's for, who it's not for, what's included. My goal there is to answer all your questions. But if you have any questions as you're listening to this training or as you go visit the page, please know I'm here for it. Or if you have questions about your website, Deb, I see you saying that your about page got too detailed and then never finished. It happens. It is that science of trying to figure out on the about page, how detailed do I go? And to what end do I do this where I'm inviting people to work with me? Because your about page really is an opportunity to build that connection for them to say, okay, she gets me. I know why she's the one for me now. She understands me, and I understand where she's coming from, right? It up-levels that expertise that you are showcasing, but it also lets people know why you're there and what you have to offer. And there definitely is that fine balance, right? I see some about pages that are like super long, so detailed, nobody's going to read that. And some of that comes into play with design as well. And so we'll look at that together when you're in Take the Reins, and I'll tell you, okay, let's break this part out. This sentence is really powerful. Here's what I want you to do with that. Or let's rephrase this just a little bit, make it more about your potential customers while you're sharing about you. Because you're right, Deb, there is definitely a science to telling your story and figuring out how to connect that to the part of the journey, because that's the thing. On the About page, you're still looking to turn them into a customer if they're right for you. So I'll give you a big tip for everybody that's listening to the live or the replay. Go look at your About page and see if you have a call to action on that page. Now, it shouldn't be random. You want to land on it in a natural way, but your call to action should always be on your About page. What's the next step? After they've learned about you, what's the next step that you want them to take? What's the natural next step in that journey? Okay, so there's your takeaway for today is go check out your About page and see if you have a call to action and if you're really guiding them on that journey. Okay, Deb, you're nodding your head with a big smile. Awesome, I love it. Okay, you guys, so jump in, stormlily.com/reins is where you can find out more about my Take the Reins one-to-one coaching program. Apply and see if it's a fit for you. I would love to meet you and talk to you more about your horse business and how we can help you to reach your long-term goals together with a customized marketing strategy. Okay, friends, I would love to know where this one hit you, right? Was there anything that was surprising? Or perhaps it was just the reminder you needed that you're on the right track. Let me know. I want to hear from you. So find me at Instagram, Storm Lily Marketing, or Facebook, or shoot me an email, Denise@stormlily.com. I would love to hear if any of these points were surprising, shocking, or maybe just confirming, or it was the kick in the pants that you needed to say, okay, I'm in. I've been wondering if I needed a website. Even if it's just a one-pager, I need a place that I own and that I can call my own. So again, make sure that you grab that free Dream Website Guide that's going to show you some real-life examples of other websites that you can see what they are doing to really build that relationship and turn their online visitors into their long-term customers. And I have the link to that at the show notes, which is stormlily.com/115 for episode 115. Or you can just head to stormlily.com/checklist and grab that as well. Now, I will tell you, I was listening to a podcast that I enjoy on marketing the other day because, yes, I'm always learning myself as well. And I heard this guy say, you can be Twitter rich and dollar broke. So when it comes to social media, some of you I know are saying, but Denise, I've got thousands and thousands of followers. And my question is, are they converting? And if they are, then good job. And I encourage you to continue to convert them over to your email list and your website so that if the fateful day comes that you don't have access to your followers, then you have access to them through your website and through your email list. Okay. So I'm just going to throw that out there to you. But again, I would love to hear how this hit you. And if you have any questions related to equestrian marketing or things you would like me to address on the podcast, I would love to know that as well. You can also share it. I would love for you to share this with your friends, share it on social media, tag me and let me know. I would love to connect with you that way. And I will tell you one last thing. If you are not subscribed to the podcast, or if you're subscribed, but you have not yet left a review, can I ask you to do me that huge favor? It is truly my honor. I get people that say, I can't believe that you provide all of this for free on your podcast. And I love to do this for you all. And my request is just that you leave a review to help other equestrian entrepreneurs to find the podcast. Because truly what happens is when you leave reviews, Apple sees that it's helping people. It sees the types of people it's helping because, they're looking at the other podcasts you listen to, right? And then they're going to show how to market your horse business to the right people that could also use this help. All right. So that is why I take the time to ask you to subscribe and review because it really does help the podcast to reach more people. All right, friends, that is all I have for you today. I will see you here again soon. Have an amazing day.